we want you to know that Christine Hurley is working on her smoky eye down there. Take a good look.
Oh my God, so good.
We have people who applied lipstick for the first time in 30 days. Kelly told me she's been using eyeliner the whole time. I didn't think anybody had, but yes, they have. Anyway, we are the 4 o'clock funnies. I'm in London. I'm lucky enough to be here with Kelly McFarland. Give them a wave, Kelly, so they know who you are. And Kathy Farris, another blonde. And then our other favorite blonde is Christine Hurley. And we're going to get on to our special guest in just a minute, but I also want to say hi and thanks to Catherine Rose, who's in the corner, because her Wise Her platform sponsors us, and they do coaching for, they have women coaches who coach women in life, business, particularly business and career. But she has another project going on right now that I just wanted to say a little bit about. It's called coachinghealthcareheroes.com. Did I get it right, Kat?
Yes, coachingforhealthcareheroes.com. Exactly. Thank you so much. And we're really excited. We just launched it. We're working with the Institutes of Coaching, the International Federation of Coaches, Well Coaches, and other big coaching organizations around the world to provide free emotional support coaching to our healthcare heroes, those on the front lines. And
yay. Yay. I like the word free.
My sister-in-law.
Bravo. Really excited about it. I'll put the link in the comments, and have a great show, ladies. I'm going to let the comedians take it away.
Thanks, Kat.
Nice to see you, Kat. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So our special, oh my God, it changed the, okay.
Very fancy.
We changed the players on the table. Anyway, our special guest today, I'm so excited to have. I love and adore her. She is a master comedian, a real craftsperson with the words. She's been on so many shows. Well, first of all, you just got to go to her website. You're going to see the best single video you've ever seen of anybody. Like, she should just work from now to eternity. KarenBergreen.com. And she's a real New Yorker and a proud New Yorker. And I thought I was a hard worker until I met Karen. I'm a sloth. Anyway, Karen, besides doing, oh, okay, we're going to let that one go. Bye-bye. Okay, yeah. Anyway, welcome to live. Oh, just shut the. Anyway.
Probably an emergency.
Oh, yeah, okay. They may try again. They think we're here. It's probably a child. Okay. But anyway, Karen, besides doing all the comedy, and that is her primary job, as it is with all of us, is also, well, she works out, but she's also a novelist, and she's a very good novelist, and she has 2 kids. Like, I can really do this now, this whole comedy thing, because my kids are up and out. They're like in the house. She can't get rid of them yet.
And
anyway,
they're actually in the house now.
Well, they're in the house. Oh God, but listen, if they walk by, listen, we've had dogs make cameos, children, Catherine's Lorelai. Yeah, we're all good. We're all about real life intrudes. So anyway, but she has these 2 wonderful books, mystery thrillers. One is called Following Polly, and one is called Perfection is Overrated. They're both like really great. Are you still turning one of them into a screenplay?
Following Polly, I have sort of this kind of thing happening, but I'm working on another novel now, so I sort of have that on the back burner.
Oh, a third
But
novel.
I do have a screenplay for it, which is a long story that's uninteresting to this crew, I promise.
Oh,
I promise. It's like, you know, I don't know if anyone here has ever dealt with the whole screenplay situation, but it's a nightmare. So, but it was a very good exercise learning how to write a screenplay out of a novel. And now I know how to write a screenplay.
Wow.
I don't know if I can give a course on it, but I think I know how to do it. I think I
can adapt your own book.
Crossword.
Yes. Yes. So I now have that. So, but I am working on another novel. That's one, you know, positive in this.
It's like unbelievable. This is going to be a third novel, but not, she also didn't mention, I will mention, is if you like going on Instagram, and I know Kelly's on Instagram too, it's very entertaining. She's doing these short videos. I saw one the other day. I thought she was cleaning out her purse and she said, well, I'm going to clean out my purse. You boys, you clean out your backpacks. And you pulled out an airplane ticket. I won't need that. What else did you say? It was so funny.
I was like, well, it's amazing what we don't need now. Like, we don't need, my favorite one was the key. Like, we don't need our key.
Yeah.
We don't need money.
You don't need lipstick, you said.
Right, lipstick. I did. I just put lipstick on for literally the first time in 5
We
weeks.
appreciate it. We
guys.
appreciate the effort. And what did you
And a
find? at the
hairbrush.
bottom?
We don't need, huh?
What did you find at the bottom of the bag? I remember.
A throat lozenge, which of course is like my favorite. Next to wine is like my favorite thing right now.
Well, listen, the topic today is jobs. So I think we'll start with Karen. Well, no, what shall I do? Okay, I'm going to start with Karen. Just tell us about any job you've had that's not being a comedian.
Okay. Well, I guess the thing I did the most beside being is I was a lawyer before I was a comedian. I was a lawyer for about 5 years.
Wow.
And I know, and sounds super exciting, but it really wasn't, and that's why I'm not a lawyer anymore. But it's that thing. I did that thing that people do where they're like, I don't know.
Like, would they make money and they have benefits? That thing?
Well, that is a positive thing, but the other thing is it's mind numbing and soul crushing. Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But you also
law firms are where people go to die.
But you also have another job, right, for the Manhattan Comedy School?
Yeah, right now I'm a comedy teacher and I'm actually teaching a lot of Zoom comedy classes, which is really, I have to say, I've been teaching for about 15 years and I love my students, but like I have more love of them on the Zoom. Don't you find that when you have these Zoom conversations with people, they're almost more intimate than when you're in person? In fact, I ran into a friend of mine, a really close old friend of mine the other day while we were walking our dogs. And I felt very uncomfortable talking to her. I was like, can we talk on FaceTime? Like, this is really unpleasant. Like, I felt like I was breaking the law for one thing. And it was just like, I've lost the ability to talk to people. I feel like I can be more honest with people over the Zoom. I don't know do you guys feel that, or is this me being?
No, you're right.
Okay. Like I bet you they're going to do some study because they do a study about everything.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. I think there's an intimacy to the format,
I like it.
Guys, you have to know, like, she is the primo comedy teacher in New York, which probably makes her the primo comedy teacher. And what I love is that you do the beginners, because I think that's the hardest. Well, wait a minute, Kelly. Wait a minute, Kathy, you teach improv. Kelly, do you teach improv?
I teach improv and stand up. Yeah.
Oh.
And you guys are based in Boston?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I teach stand up, not improv.
I should tell my friend, are you guys doing any classes on Zoom?
Yeah, I've got a couple of classes on Zoom. So I'm actually with Improv Boston and IB Creative, so little nonprofit theater in Cambridge. So yeah, we both.
And do you do improv on Zoom? Can you do that on Zoom?
Yeah, I've been improvising for a long time, and then the improv on Zoom, I've taught it on Zoom, more the exercises like the warm-ups and improv for stress and whatever. But doing scenes, our main stage at Improv Boston has been doing shows every Saturday night. So
Really?
yeah, it's pretty cool. What's that?
Kathy has a show on Wednesday nights, at least once this all ends.
Yeah.
9:30, right? At Improv Boston.
Oh yeah, Kathy's show at Improv.
Oh yeah, before the pandemic when people were allowed to go 9:30 on Wednesdays. I think we're moving to 7:30 though.
That's a better time.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many people do you all have in your classes?
On my Zoom, I have some that are like small little classes that I do like for groups of friends that just hire me like privately, and then like 5 or 6 people. And then I have through the comedy school, which is sometimes 20 people. It can be 20 people, but sometimes it's not as many. Like some of the people in the class are physicians or health workers, and they're just like, sometimes they come just to watch because they can't even talk. Like they can't even talk. Like I don't want to say, come on, like I'm just, you do whatever you need to do. I love it that you're okay. Like
It helps them forget. It helps them get out of their world.
Right.
But did the teachers in the group ever notice, it seems to me like in economic downturns, I don't know about pandemics, my first pandemic, but a lot of lawyers become comedians. I think because they're very verbally, adept,
Mhm.
but we always seem to get a lot of them cycle in, for a while.
I think lawyers become comedians a lot, just in general, because I think people go to law school thinking law is going to be like Law and Order and stuff like
Right.
that.
It isn't.
And then they're like, oh my God, it's like a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of paperwork. And it takes a certain, like, I'm married to a lawyer who's he was a prosecutor for years, and he's really aggressive, like on the phone. Like, he can be, not in a mean way, but he's just very confident and can get what he wants. And I'm really passive aggressive, which isn't a great skill it's great for as a mom and a wife, but it doesn't really work, and a flight attendant, but it doesn't really work well if you're like a litigator. Like, you have to be just out there. And so that would have been the fun job for me, but I don't have the right personality traits for it. And so it's a lot of kind of feeling like a grunt. It's not, and some of the skills are the same. Like, some of the writing skills are similar. Like, I always say, like, when I would teach my class, like, writing a legal argument is you take a bunch of facts and then you manipulate them so that they meet your conclusion. And in stand-up, you take a bunch of facts and you manipulate them so that you can come up with your absurdity or your punchline. So it's really actually not a different part of the brain. I think it's the same part of the brain.
Because you're actually logical. You have both sides of the brain, I think. That helps,
You're being kind.
No.
I have both sides of the brain, and I'm missing whatever's in the middle.
But before we go back to talking about jobs, Karen and Christine, I know you're big both dog people. So Christine, tell Karen, Karen has Tootsie. and Christine has Pickles.
I want to pickle. Can I introduce Tootsie to the group, or is that?
Absolutely.
Snacky.
Snacky.
Tootsie Snacky.
Here she comes. Hold on.
I know Tootsie better than her kids. Spend more time with Tootsie than her kids.
So excited. Here she is. Tootsie,
Wait.
come on. Up.
It's so funny if her dog was imaginary. And here's
Right.
Now, I am sentimental here. Okay, come on.
No, we don't doubt you.
Oh,
Tootsie.
Oh,
What
I'm
a
in
beauty.
love.
I love watching her chew.
She's so
Oh,
happy. Yeah,
My God.
that's what I look like when I chew. Oh, yeah.
What are you doing about the haircut situation, Christine? Are you just letting it go, or you?
So oh, you mean for the dog?
Yeah.
Yes.
Your hair
Yes,
looks good.
Yeah, we're letting it go. We're just gonna let him be a hippie, my little Pickles hippie. He'll be fine.
Explain Pickles to Karen.
Pickles he's a dickhead.
I love
Bring
it.
him into frame, Christine.
What, honey?
Bring him into frame.
Okay.
I want to see Pickles. But will Pickles notice another dog on the TV, because Tootsie doesn't have that?
I don't think
She's really smart about anything food related, but not anything else.
Look,
That's He's so cute.
what up, Pickles?
Pickles.
Pickles,
There's
what's
another
going
dog right
on, Holmes? Pickles, look at
Pickles, we love you.
Pickles.
Pickles.
We got a new
like some
friend.
kind of erotic photo shoot
Oh,
with
it's like Pickles is licking his chops.
Yeah, he's mad. He's always mad. Pickles.
No,
Pickles.
Pickles usually shows his
Arr.
teeth because Kelly, don't do
I'm
this.
gonna see him show his teeth.
Okay,
Arr.
Arr.
Okay,
now
Pickles.
He loves me, but he hates the other 6 people in this house. He hates
Where does he sleep?
with me on my bed.
Are
In
the
the boom,
other
boom room.
people afraid that he's gonna murder them in their sleep?
People.
Tootsie.
Well, he's usually with me, so they don't worry too much. But he's not. Let's just say there hasn't been anything going on in the champagne room for the past 8 years, because he's right in the middle of us.
The champagne room. You live at Scores.
Yeah. centerfolds.
Okay, well, let's go back to the topic. Anytime the dogs want to walk through, that's fine. So Kelly, jobs.
I have had a lot of jobs, not in a bad way. Just when I was in 6th grade, my mom sat me down and said, "So do you like dance class?" And I said, "Yeah, I love it. I've loved it my whole life." She said, "Great. I'm not going to pay for it anymore. I got you a job." So I was like, "What kind of job?" And she's like, "You're going to take the bus over to your dance instructor's house after school on Thursdays, and you're going to do whatever she tells you to do so you can dance." And so I was like, okay. So then I learned anytime I want something, I need to work.
Work for it.
So I have had a ton of jobs. I slung pizzas in a pizza shop all through high school.
Can you do the thing?
No, it wasn't that great. It
Okay.
wasn't a nice one. It was, I can take them out of a bag and put them on a thing.
That's a
So
skill.
I did that. And then I worked retail. I worked at the Disney store. I've worked at a hotel, front desk and housekeeping. I've waited tables. I was a receptionist. I did customer
Good question about
service.
the housekeeping thing, Kelly.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us. Like, did you steal
So,
stuff? All that?
yeah, I saw a bunch of stuff, Karen. Like, so the funny part about the housekeeping part is, so I have OCD. So I wash my hands probably 50 times a day.
She
So I
was
get
ready
this.
for the pandemic.
Yeah, I was ready for the pandemic. So I get this job as a housekeeper at a Days Inn. I mean, come on.
Very
And
high end. Very high
my rooms were all spotless, but I couldn't do a lot of them because I was literally spit shining the remote. And they were like, "Hey," like they'd like yell at me and be like, "Hurry up. Like, Molly's done 20 rooms. You're done with 5? Like, hurry up."
Molly's
And
rooms all had bed bugs.
yeah, exactly. And so my rooms were spotless, but what moved me from being housekeeping to front desk was there was a gun in one of the trash cans. And I was like, "I don't think I can do this anymore." And they were like, "Would you like to do the front desk?" And I was like, "Yeah." You haven't lived till you've worked a front desk at a Days Inn.
Wait, but I love it that you think that you're safer at the front desk.
Well,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because it's like the same person. It still has the
exactly.
Who has that
Yeah.
gun?
same. It's like
And I have cash now. So, because back then there was cash.
right.
Yeah, I just to interrupt you briefly. I worked at Days Inn, but doing comedy, and it was the first serious heckler I ever had. And he said, "You look like my 2nd grade math teacher." And then he stood up at the bar and he pulled back his shirling jacket and there was a gun. It just
Yeah.
reminded me, Days Inn gun. And I'm thinking, okay, this is new. First of all, I never had anybody heckle me. It wasn't the gun that threw me. It was like, what? And-
Maybe it was the same Days Inn that Kelly worked at. And that was his son that ended up.
It's gun.
But he said, "You remind me of my 2nd grade math teacher." And then I saw the gun and then I said, "I bet I do." And I said, "Is there anything else you'd like to contribute to the conversation?" I get very accommodating when somebody has a gun.
I mean, he showed you his gun. He must have really hated math. He's like, "You remind me of my 2nd grade math teacher. Fractions are a real bitch." Pew, pew, pew.
Okay, so we got you to the reception at the
Oh.
Days Inn, and then what?
So then I took a job in an office. I was a receptionist. I was a cashier in the cage for security trades. I did customer service. I did sales. I was a brewery tour guide.
Wow. What were you selling? What were the sales?
I worked in an insurance company.
Oh, you mean all those people who are saying viruses aren't covered now under your insurance policy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think there was some pandemic language in there.
yeah, no, really. I just
Yeah.
heard on CNN today.
I don't know. I don't do that
All these
anymore.
people have paid insurance for years and
I
they're
make
not.
an honest living on the road at VFWs now.
And Days
I
Inn.
earn my money the right way.
My mom used to say a kid who works is a better kid.
Oh
So
my God, I've worked my
sold-
entire life. I
I
don't know
sold
any
lemonade,
different.
and I sold Christmas cards, and I got the order. The order came in. I was a little late ordering them. They came on December 26th, I was quite upset because it's hard to sell Christmas cards on the day after Christmas. My mom really bailed me out. She bought the whole order, you know, so that was, and anybody else a babysitter? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I was so good. I could imitate the nuns, you know, Christine, right? I just do the nuns and the kids would be on the ceiling. They just thought this was hilarious.
I was all
show up
about
in a
the
habit?
fridge.
No habit, no habit.
I was all about the fridge when I was babysitting.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
Like it was like the people that had the good fridge with the
Mhm.
good TV,
Mhm.
you know.
Win-win.
What were you gonna say, Christine?
I said win-win.
Win.
Mhm.
I used to babysit for a guy who dealt weed.
The kid or the parent?
Oh yeah, I used to babysit for I used to babysit the kid of parents, the guy who sold weed. He would go back and forth to the Bahamas.
Wow.
And his wife was having an affair.
Oh my.
It was just so he'd call in the middle of the night looking for her, and I'd be there with the kid. And,
I think Karen needs to interview you for her next book.
oh,
I
yes.
was so fascinated. Wait, so how old was the kid?
He was 5 or 6, I think.
Did he know anything that was going on?
No, Adam. His name was Adam. Nope.
Well,
Nope.
Let's
now
call
it's a
it
cat
down.
out of the bag.
But I know now. Well, sorry. And the father's still in jail. The dad's in jail.
Wow. Was he a good tipper though?
Yes. Yes. Very. Yeah. They
Tip
had.
you in dime bags?
I don't know what he was doing. Well,
In products.
Yeah.
they
So whose dog is
Like
that?
that.
Tootsie or Pickles?
that's not me.
Here's a neighbor's dog, Minnie.
Oh, no.
I thought for a minute there Tootsie and Pickles were on their own Zoom call.
Bark.
Bark, 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 bark.
Yeah.
Bark, 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 bark. Bark.
She has a scary bark, but she's such a little lamb.
So cute.
Okay, sorry. You call out my animal songs. Okay. Anyway, so Kathy, jobs. What jobs have you done?
Yeah, I did the babysitting thing for a long time. I remember in 8th grade, I babysat 3 kids. One was like a newborn, like right after school, 3 days a week. I was like a single mother, you know, with the dinner ready and everything like that. My other jobs, I was a justice of the peace for about 4 years.
Well, okay, tell us
Wow.
more about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, actually. You'll be surprised at how many people don't give a shit about a ceremony. Like, my marriage license is up in 2 days. We got to get married for the insurance. Can you come to our apartment?
You didn't have to have a blood test?
No, you probably had to get a blood test and a license, but then you could do it. You had 30 days to do
And
it.
how'd you get certified?
You had to be nominated and sponsored by like your selectman or the local politician.
What?
Yeah, there's a certain amount of justice of the peace for the population in your city or town.
Should we be calling you Judge Kathy?
I think so.
I know, but you
have a
could
show.
though. You could, yeah. That was a lot of fun, but I only did it for 4 years. It's a 4-year term. It's like
Have you ever gone back to see the success rate? Of the
I did start to check and it was really bumming me out.
That is hilarious.
You are not the tie that binds.
No, not at all. Not at
What
all.
a great job.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
And after Justice,
I was a reward and
Then what?
recognition strategy person.
after Justice of the Peace, then what?
I worked for Bank Boston, which is Bank of America now, and I was a reward and recognition strategy person. Basically, I put together all their recognition things to, when you're having incentives and things like that. I got into it because I was very good at it. I raised like $1.2 million for the bank.
That's
And
a
I
lot
got
of
a,
incentive.
guess what I got for it?
What?
Mug. I got a mug.
Are you kidding?
Not kidding.
Did it have your name on it?
Yeah, it had the logo, but it wasn't even microwavable, right?
Oh my God.
What
But
was
it's really
your
it's
favorite
really started a
incentive?
career for me.
I like a mug.
Yeah, I like them
All
on
mine.
Totally work at the extra hours for a mug.
Well, it was nice. It was blue. It went with my eye.
Which do people like better, mugs or t-shirts as an incentive or a certificate?
Mug.
Mug?
T-shirt is always crappy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Certificate is garbage.
yeah, exactly.
It's
Wow.
the mug then.
Garbage.
Okay,
Well,
how
studies actually show that it's not anything like that anyway, and money really doesn't do a whole lot because it only gives you so many days. What they really want is just genuine appreciation and acknowledgement for what they did.
Yeah.
You know, people like to be missed and they like to get, credit for where credit is due.
Mhm.
But look at them right back into it.
this is
Next slide.
Look at me. It's like riding a bike,
Make a mug of your show.
a real positive bike. That's all it is.
Okay, Christine, how about jobs for you?
Oh God, everything. Probably the job right before I had kids. I was a sales representative for a company called Brewmatic Beverage Systems, and they installed coffee machines and coffee creamers. We were like a vending service for coffee, and we would go. We would do it in office buildings, like every office, we would set up coffee centers and offices for their employees. And at the time I was very cute. And they used to call me the secret weapon. Yep, they used to call me the secret weapon because they would send me out on sales calls and I would meet with the president of the company and I would say, if you sign a 4-month contract, I will be out every 3 months to snake and flush your unit. I will, and I will also disinfect your spray head. So, I mean, the accounts were coming in like gangbusters. I killed it. I killed it in the coffee business. And then I got knocked up and it's history.
She has 5 kids, Karen.
You have 5?
I do.
What's the age range?
28, 24, 21, no, 28, 24, 22, 20, and 18.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's
All voters.
amazing. And they're all, are they all sheltering with you right now?
They were. We've sent 2 along their way.
Sacrificed them.
Yeah,
Mommy
yeah.
loves you. You get to stay.
That is.
You're welcome.
You know, it's amazing
Technical
to see
side.
how many kids didn't come home. I think a lot of kids would rather die than go back to the parents' house.
Well, Ryan was here for a long time, and she finally said, "I'm going to have a nervous breakdown," and we had to drive her back to the city.
Oh, she went back to New York?
You drove
Yeah.
back?
Right
We
back
drove, yep, Jimmy and I drove there. We with masks. We literally like dropped her
You
off
round
at her
trip
apartment.
in one day?
Yeah, we
round
did
trip?
round trip day. It took 7 hours round trip because there was 0 people on the road.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So we did the smart thing a parent should do is bring your daughter back to New York, which I think is
The epicenter. That's where I live in New York still. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's scary.
it is scary. It is scary, but she was so desperate. She had to get out of here.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I sort of get it.
Yeah, I get it. I get
I
it.
haven't
I was
taken chances.
Karen,
Yeah.
are you cheering out the windows at 7 p.m. every night?
We're out the windows. Even though my classes start at 7, but I always say we're starting at 7 too.
Nice.
And I cheer out the window. And I have to say, I feel every emotion during the cheering.
Oh, I bet.
Every emotion, like I'm like horribly sad when I think of what these people have to do every day. But I feel this unity with people. Like, it's weird to think everybody on the planet is like going through this.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's this bizarre feeling. Like I said to my kids, I was like, there's nothing like this.
No, it's like a movie.
Yeah, I feel like we're in a movie. And New York, when I go out with the dog, New York feels like a movie set because it's so empty.
Yeah.
It
I
feels like you're walking through a movie set.
I agree. My daughter lives in the East Village, Karen, and there was nobody on any street.
It's crazy.
Nowhere.
Last night was touching too. I always tune into Regina DeChico, a friend of some of us.
Yeah.
She always does an Instagram live for when everybody's cheering. And
Oh,
last night I also went to some choir was getting everybody in New York. It didn't totally take off, but enough to make my eyes well up, singing New York, New York. And it was fabulous.
oh,
It was fabulous, you know.
oh.
It
So
is
it's just-
really, it's like not every day is like 9/11 here, I feel like.
Yeah.
I bet.
How often do you go to the supermarket?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't ever go. My husband goes. He loves going. He's so desperate to do anything, like go into a store.
Yeah.
And we could do some Fresh Direct, but they don't really have anything. I mean, they're like they were always out of everything. I mean, nothing on them. Like they're doing the best. So he goes like a couple of times a week, but he goes in, he goes out. Like you know, I had to pick up a prescription last week where I had like they wouldn't deliver it, and I had to. The CVS was so, I mean, it was like a hospital. Like it had all this plastic. I felt much better like with the plastic, and the supermarkets now have like the plastic up. So, and they're much stricter now with you only a certain amount of people can be in a store at a time. They have markers on the thing. We don't go to like Whole Foods and stuff, which is always packed because
Long
people feel
lines,
like
I
they
bet.
need to go to Whole Foods during the
Yeah.
pandemic. We go to like the sort of less, you know, interesting supermarket that doesn't really have a lot of people in it. You know, it's like, and I live in a neighborhood that's got a lot of elderly, so people really aren't there a lot.
Right, right.
I saw on your website, Karen, that you also appear on a lot of podcasts. So which ones you've been on?
Oh my God, I haven't been on one in a while. I just did one yesterday for a college. I can't even remember what it was. I've been on, God, I should change my website because I have not been. I was just on a financial one. I can't remember all the names of them. They're like, you know, they're not famous. It's not like Mark Maron or anything. It's not like Conan or Mark Maron, but they're all fun. Like I was on a financial one. Like you're asking of somebody who's lost her memory, like which ones I've been on. I'm sorry. I'll just make one up. I was on, you know, I'm just going to say like I was on the Daily with the New York Times. CNN Sanjay Gupta, he's comes to me for my medical knowledge. I'm an unlicensed physician. And
I bet you've been on Lenny Marcus's 4C.
yes, I was on Lenny
Oh,
Marcus.
I love that. Yeah, I think you've been on Judy Gold's. I love Kill Me Now.
And Judy Gold's a bunch of times. Yeah, I done that. Thank you.
That's really, that's a great one. I'm liking Jessica Kirsten's one relatively.
Me too.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
I'm
great.
listening to that, yes, I used to listen to her other one about eating, which I thought was great.
Edith?
Eating. She and Frank Laudy like did this one about like I forgot what it was called, of course, because I can't remember anything. It was about like it was all about food. Like they had Edie Falco. It was all like what people's relationship was to food, but that was sort of the gimmick. But it was in but you would get it like their biography out of it.
Anybody else got a favorite podcast they like to listen to?
I'm listening to Funny Over 450 right now.
Oh,
Very well produced.
Oh,
Very
yeah,
well
thank you.
produced, Jane.
Well, that was a setup.
No, it's really good. I really like the questions that you're asking. I just finished Brian's and that was really good.
I really thought that the first interview, Karen, you and I talked a little bit about was Brian Kiley. Julia Scotti, I've learned not to call her a transgender comedian. I have to call her a comedian who happens to be transgender, and which is fine, whatever she wants. I mean, one thing I really liked on Julia's was she said before she goes on stage, she's big into visualization. She said she pictures herself getting a standing ovation at the end, and I thought that's a great idea.
I love that.
I
yeah.
love that. And
Talk
then
about reverse engineering.
what Brian Kiley, he said a lot of wonderful things. He said, I was talking to him about when I did my one-person show, I learned a lot about pauses and silences that you can sort of use them. I'd always been afraid of them. Like I go, blah, 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 that's how I talk. And he said he didn't really find out about the value of pauses until in between his 20th and 30th year in comedy. I'm there like, wow.
Wow.
it was really kind of an in the weeds,
Mm.
Wow.
you know, if you like process of comedy, and I know you think about it too, Karen, it's really, for comedy nerds, that at least that interview.
Psychological evolution of the comedian is so fascinating to me.
And like what?
Well, I just think in the beginning when you're just so focused on like, did they like me? Did they like me? Did they like me? Like that's all you care about in the beginning.
Right.
And then you get to a point where it's like, you're sort of really interested in the craft of it and like what's happening in your mind, like where you are in your, like your relationship to your joke and how and it's not so much what the audience thought of you, but what you thought of the audience, like what your connection was. Like sometimes I get really obsessed with the audiences. Like I just get really into them, like individuals in the audience. And then sometimes as a group, like how do I feel about them collectively?
Karen is also a master MC, as everybody actually on this show. Well, anyway, I'm pretty good, but like people are really good at MCing on this. How do you get your young since you are brave enough to do the beginning comics, how do you get them over the fear? That.
Well, I tell them this thing that an acting teacher told me, like when I first started doing all this, and I think it's true. So I think I've heard it several times now, and I just say it as if it's true because, as I said, I'm an unlicensed physician. But I say that feeling of the nerves is the same physiological feeling as excitement. So you just have to kind of tell yourself that you're really excited, and that actually, from what I see, like people, that excitement and nervousness is kind of what keeps the audience into the show in the very first days of the comedians. Like they're sort of excited for you. My dog disagrees apparently. And I also say it goes away.
It's gone away from me.
I mean, for me, it goes away for the most part, but let's say shush. Okay.
Well, I think that's enough for today. Could we all bark goodbye to Tootsie and Pickles?
Bye, Tootsie.
Bye,
Tootsie. Bye, Pickles.
And Karen, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody check out her website, karenbergreen.com.
Yeah.
You will not be disappointed. She's one of the best out there. Okay.
And you guys
Bye,
are so
Karen.
nice. I want to be your friend.
Same. Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.